Welcome to Brown's Neighborhood, where Daniel Butchie Brown is the host. Welcome to Brown's Neighborhood Podcast. We back. John, you ready for this?
I stay ready, man.
Man, look here. Now, y'all know John out there, because we coming at it 100%. He done came on the Brown's Neighborhood Podcast, so I'm finna see what John talking about. We finna, we finna go deep with it. John, you grew up in Los Angeles.
Watts, Compton.
Watts, Compton. What elementary did you go to?
Well, I went to several elementaries because my dad stayed in trouble, so we had to move to a lot of places. So I went to Sierra Madre for a minute because we moved out far to get away from a lot of stuff, and then we moved back. Then I went to Elliott Junior High for a minute, and then I went to 92nd Street, 5th School, and then back to another school out there called Sierra Mesa. Then we left there and we moved back out to Compton and Watts, and been out there ever since. Now I moved on with my life to where I stay at now.
Man, so you was moving back and forth. What you know about Watts, man?
Man, I know a lot of things about Watts. You know, Watts was really back in the 60s, 50s, probably before the 60s, probably the 40s, the 50s, back when it was swamp area. But it wasn't even, the projects wasn't, it was a swamp area. So growing up in the area became Watts and everything like that right there, you know, and the Watts riot was actually 1965 and stuff like that there. So growing up there and hearing the things of Watts and then living in Watts myself in the Jordan Housing Projects, you know, you have to be with that life. Either you become a victim.
Man, are you sure you know about the JDs?
Yes, I do know about the Jordan Housing Projects very well.
Is that right?
Stayed and grew up in on 102nd.
Wow. Man, don't be looking at me like that, Ronald. He from Watts.
How old are you?
60.
60. Where did you stay at?
I stayed on 102nd, right between the big sidewalk and the ESK parking lot. By side, Ben Henry, his brother. Yeah. Know him all well.
All right, well, you pay attention over here. You know side, you know Ben, so you know some guys that's deep rooted.
Very much so.
In Watts. You know the McGills and all of them.
Of course, Cedric.
Is that right?
Know them all.
So
his brother Mark.
Did you ever go to the Markham or Jordan?
No, I didn't get a chance to go down there. I went to continuations. I got kicked out of school in the 6th grade because I used to fight all the time. So I had to go to a continuation.
Well, John, back then you already short, man. So you was short and fighting?
No, I was big in fighting. I may be short in height, but I was big in fighting.
Was you fighting, man?
I used to love to fight. I used to love to fight. Yes, I did. Because, I used to prove people wrong.
So let me just say this. Because I'll be seeing Cy at the Drew League and things like that. So if you're on this podcast and Cy see this, he gonna know you?
Cy gonna know exactly who I am. I was just with Cy not too long ago at a funeral.
Is that right?
One of our friends, her son passed away, and we was all at the funeral.
Wow. John, what was life like when you was 12, 13, and 14?
Hard. It wasn't easy. My mother had 8 children. We had to fend the best way we knew how. So for me, I started gambling, started breaking into spots and stuff like that there, breaking into houses, breaking into restaurants. I didn't give a hoot. I had to find a way to survive. Mom could only do so much.
Well, you look good now, so you used to, baby, I'm telling you, man, that if you like 12 and 13, you was looking like a little old youngster, real.
Indeed. I always stay looking young. I stay fly. I stay taking care of myself because that's the image that I carry.
And you know how to break into something?
Well, at that time of my life, I learned how to know how to break into something.
That's what I'm saying.
It was survival.
Oh, was it?
Well, like Watts, what it stands for, we are taught to survive.
Wow. And you straight from Watts?
Grew up in Watts.
Oh, you ain't no imitation Watts, dude.
No.
You real.
I grew right up in the projects for a little while in quite a period of my life, yeah.
So you know Wayne and all them, Hunch and all them.
Yeah, Wayne, Arthur, know them well.
Is that right? They know you?
Of course they know me.
All right, well, you acting like you're a Watts legend then, something,
Well, I may not be a legend, but I'm a legend enough.
Look here. Man, if you was in Watts and you survive and you still here, everybody, is somewhat of a legend when they survive.
Sense, yeah.
Yes, sir. So you was breaking in the houses, you was doing whatever you had to do to survive. I just have to ask, man, have you ever hustled before?
Of course. That was one of my main little stelos. I had to get my bread the best way I knew how. So I started selling dope at the age of 18. I just came home from camp.
Grew up in Wasino, you had to see it. Who could tell Lil John how to hustle?
Well, I learned from some of the best. I won't put no names out there, but I learned from some of the best that, I seen how they moved. I paid attention. I stand back and watched and started learning how to do it my own way and get my money.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think you was a good hustler?
I believe I was very successful at one point.
Right. So did you ever go to church as a kid?
Yeah, we did. My mother and father, whether they didn't go or not, but they made sure we went to church. But I stopped going to church at the age of 13.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you graduate from high school?
No, I didn't. I ended up, like I said, I was locked up at a young age. I got locked up at age 15 and didn't get out till I was 18.
What you get locked up for, John?
Somebody snitched on me because we did some little crimes out there at that time of my life.
At 15?
Yeah, God told on me.
At 15?
At 15.
You did a crime enough to go to jail at 15?
Yeah. I didn't get out till I was 18.
Did you ever bang?
Well, yeah. Grape Street.
Grape Street? Were you part of Grape or you just claimed Grape?
No. I was a part of everything that took place. A lot of things that took place.
Is that right?
No.
So you're a real OG.
Oh, yeah. As we call them green grapes, I wasn't one of them.
Is that right? You was a real grape?
Indeed, I was.
At 15?
Well, not at 15, I wasn't from Grape Street at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
But at 15, somebody told on.
Yes.
And you did 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
When you got 18, you got out.
Yeah, well, they let me out because I didn't catch no more crimes because I was in camp. And therefore, once you turn 18 in camp, they got to release you unless you do something to go to YA. So they ended up letting me go at 12 o'clock at night with my mother, my dad, and my sister came and picked me up at 12 something at night.
Now, you're only 18. You're just getting out. You hit these streets, and a whole lot of hustling is going on. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to get involved.
Well, I didn't want to get involved. I was just chilling in the back of the house in Compton because we stayed right behind Compton High. And a guy pulled up on me. I know the name, which I will not put out there. Pulled up on me on a motorcycle. He said, homie, you want to make some money? I like, yeah, well, what's up? He said, you want to sell some crack, some rocks? I said, what the hell is rocks? So I called my baby brother out. I like, Poop, what's up? What's this shit called rocks? He said, nigga, who trying to put you on? I like this cat. He pulled up on a motorcycle. He told me he'd be back to get me. Sure enough, I went left with him. He put me in the back of the motorcycle. I put on a little old jacket, a little Adidas jacket, and my little jeans and shoes. And next thing you know, I was in Trag Newton Park selling dope. Sun up, sun down, I was chasing and getting money. And I got well known by all the major drug dealers over there. They're like, man, that little nigga right there getting his bread. Man, we need to put him on our team. Try to take me from him and put me on their team, but I was a loyalist. So I said, nah, I can't do him like that.
Is that right? And you learned how to hustle over there at the park.
And that's what I did. That's when I learned how to start selling dope.
Man, and you was pretty good at it.
I was real good at it. I started learning a little trace how to stash my dope in the handlebars and put the little stoppers back on there and just ride through the park. Car pull up, I pull the little thing off and he hit the cone and keep it moving.
You learning how to, do your thing. When did you buy your first ride? Did you low ride?
Well, I didn't have no low rider at that time. My first car was a Capri, stick shift, the little Capris. That was one of my first cars. I bought it from one of the homies from Grape Street. And he sold it to me. It was like a gray with the bluish purple stripes going down the side. So I bought that from him. Then I ended up buying another car, which was another Capri. Then I bought another car right after that was colors, canary yellow colors, the white interior. I had several cars throughout my life.
So man, how did this happen? You was over in Compton, got out, you in Compton. How you get back over by Grape Street?
Well, how I got introduced to it was my brother-in-law, rest in peace, Eric G, rest in peace. Me and his sister was dating each other at the time. And so from that point on, I'm in the projects every single day in my teenage years. And that's how I became from the hood and been up there every single day since I was grown until you just name it, just to the end.
Is that right?
Yeah, so came up in there and got known by everybody because I was always a squabbler or with them pistols.
Man, was you really squabbling, man?
Oh, yeah, I love to fight. I used to love to fight. I literally did. I don't look like this here for being 60, for being nothing, just being nice.
No. But no, to tell you the truth, brother, at 60, you're a good-looking brother. You don't look beat up, worn out, doped out, but like you said, you never used drugs.
Not a day in my life.
Never drinked.
Well, I took a sip, but I didn't drink.
Like drink, yeah.
That just wasn't for me. Because I was always one that always want to be focused.
So when you out there hustling, did you have a woman in your life?
I had many women in my life.
John, now come on, man.
No, I was a player. I'm gonna just keep it 100. I had women. I don't care where he was. I had a gang of women. That's what I did.
And you was making money.
And getting my money.
You know, back then, you know, if you ain't had no heart, they'll take your money, John.
Yeah. For those who would allow it. You're not taking that for me. The doctor said take medicine. He didn't say take my money.
All right. So you was able to hold on to your bread.
That.
You knew the guys from the neighborhood, and now you doing your thing.
Well, right now I just stay in the world. You know, I stay out the way. You know?
So how did God come back into your life? You got out there, you're hustling. God was always looking over you. God always with us. So now you out there, you know, you doing your thing. How did John get in trouble?
Well, I got in trouble, I guess, messing with the wrong crowd. Not saying the grape streets, because that's the hood.
Right.
But individuals that I allowed myself to trust. And one of my homies, actually ain't gonna put his name out there, but he told me, he said, man, if you keep messing with such and such and them, you're gonna find yourself in jail.
They gonna tell on you.
That's just what he said, exact word. He said, they gonna tell on you. I said, they already know what type of nigga I am, my nigga, so that if they do, they know the consequences. And he said, man, I'm trying to tell you, them niggas don't give a damn, my nigga. He said, pressure will bust a pipe. And when he said that, I said, yeah, well, time will tell. I was getting my bread, so I was putting niggas on like, look, let's go get this money. I got you. And we would go get our money. But as he said what he said, it happened just like he said it.
Well, you already got told on at 15. Mm-hmm. How old were you this time when you got told on?
This time I was 30 years old at that time.
You was 30. Mm-hmm. So you had a run at this hustling game.
On and off, because I would be in and out of the penitentiary, because I went to prison in 1987. And so I was in and out of prison.
So between 18 and 30, you went in jail again.
Yeah, I went to prison. Yeah.
Well, what did you go to jail for this time?
Well, this one right here.
How many times did you go between?
It was many a times. I can't even count them.
Just in and out.
In and out, because I was getting my money. So when you getting your money, you feel me? You know, you're gonna be out there getting your money. You're gonna be hustling, doing your thing. It's just a matter of time.
So when you went in, you already knew who, you know, when you know how you get there, you know people from the neighborhood.
Yeah, trust that, yeah.
So you already, it wasn't like you was...
It was like home away from home, because like, that's just keeping it 100. It was like home away from home, because for me, I was well known, had a reputation, you know what I'm saying? And so, that's Lil John from Grape. You know, Lil John Loke. I even got I got an interview on YouTube, you know, that, right? Yeah, that I did a little thing, talk about my lifestyle and stuff like that. So... yeah, so I was well known. No matter where I was in jail or the streets, no matter what neighborhood, somebody knew who I was.
John, so you going back. What made you say, 18 and now I went back and I got out? Why you just didn't stop?
I guess that was a part of my journey for me not to stop, because we all got a journey in life. It's just what you do on that journey. So for me, I was hard-headed, and I want to find a better way for myself, for my family. So that kept me into that world out there to try to get that money.
It seemed like you're a pretty smart dude. You conversate well, but you was hard-headed.
Very hard-headed.
Were you really?
No, I was really hard-headed. I would listen to the OGs, hear certain things they say, but I just soak it up, because I didn't hang around a lot of young dudes. I hung around older dudes. So I would sit back and soak up what they would tell me and just listen to what they say, but then I wouldn't go how they would want me to do it. I'd do it the way I wanted to do it. I flip it and put it in my own use.
So you flip it, you put it in your own use. What were you doing with this money, John?
Truthfully, cars, clothes, jewelry, female, stuff like that. Enjoying life.
Just enjoying it?
Just enjoying life. I wasn't really using my head to the extent to why I'd invest my money at a young age, because that's what I should have done.
Right. A lot of youngsters didn't know how to just really invest, and some of them just didn't trust nobody either. Maybe even buy a house or something that they can always have. They just didn't trust them with that with that money like that.
You ain't supposed to trust nobody with that type of money.
You know what I'm saying? But if you want to try to, somebody in the family, something, it's hard though.
It's hard, especially when you're like the breadwinner of your family, you know what I'm saying? And you're a go-getter, so, everybody want to just lean on your tree.
Were you the breadwinner?
Yeah.
So you did help the family?
Oh, I helped my family quite a bit.
Okay. So it just wasn't just about you?
No, it wasn't just about me, because we wasn't raised that we wasn't raised that way.
How many people in your family?
Well, it was eight of us. 2 girls and 6 boys. One of my brothers passed away right when I came home.
So now you back in and out. You in and out, and now you out. You doing good. Your friend tell them. We don't. You just somebody told.
Somebody told on me, yeah.
They had to be close to you to tell on you because it's somebody that don't know you. They couldn't tell on you.
Yeah.
So we understand that part. So now they tell it now.
Mm-hmm.
You get time. How much time did you get?
I got sentenced to life without the possibility of parole plus 1 year.
Man, what in the hell could you have done to get life without parole?
Well, I was considered as the mastermind because I was older than the individuals. And being that I had a prior history of those type of things that took place at this situation right here, they figured like, yeah, he is the mastermind because these individuals are a lot younger than him and he already had prior convictions in the same relation to like situations such as this right here. So
And they put an L on it?
LWOP.
What in the hell is LWOP?
Life without the possibility of parole.
But you go, some things you gonna know, I don't know. Brother.
Indeed.
How in the hell can you survive in the pen?
God's grace and then the logic and the mindset that I have to know how to go through the penitentiary because I've been to the penitentiary in the 80s. So, like I said, I had a well-known reputation, you know what I'm saying? But
If they see you now, they like, man.
they do. They see me, they be like, what's up, little John? What's up? I like, how you doing, brother?
I know it, but if they look at you, they gonna be like, man, look at this young brother. It don't look like you done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Looks is deceiving.
Looks can be deceiving as well.
You know what I'm saying? You look like a clean-cut brother, man.
Yeah.
You know? Golly. And people just let him know he's 60.
Yeah,
But
60
you
years
don't
old.
look 60.
Yeah, just turned 60 February the 12th.
Wow. Now you get in here, you get in that pen, it's survival, man.
It is survival.
And no matter who, what, where, it's survival. You in there.
That it is. I was well known though because from doing juvenile time all the way up to my adult time, I built a reputation to know a lot of people. People got to knowing me and stuff like that.
What
so
pen was you in?
I've been everywhere. Old Folsom, New Folsom, Pelican Bay, Soledad, Corcoran, CRC, Calipatra, Centinela, a few other prisons. I've been to CRC, I've been to Chino. I've been
that
basically everywhere.
Is that right?
Corcoran,
John.
Pleasant Valley.
Boy, let me say this. Any man survive the system, I'm just saying, he got to be a strong brother. I mean, they can do the time, but I'm saying get out without, it's survival. You went to all of those.
I've been to basically all those. I've been to all those prisons.
And you was on level 4s?
Yeah, I was on level 4s. I was the last time I was a level 3 was 1990. Was the last time I was a level 3. Ever since then, I was always a level 4. But I got to give God the glory because without God,
so people will understand. What's the difference between level 3 and level 4?
there's not too much difference into level 3s and level 4s. You know, level 4 is just a little bit more locked down than the level 3 is in that sense, but basically the program basically the same in some sense.
Okay. Because sometimes people be like, what's level 3? What's level 4? They like trying to figure out.
It's just a little more supervision on level 4, a little more control. You know, that's basically it in that sense.
So you was getting ready to say something, and I hate that I interrupted you.
It's all right.
While you was doing the time, were you in there doing any reading?
Yes, I've always wanted like to educate myself. No matter what I allow myself to be a part of or to get into, I always try to find a way to educate myself in some ways. But I was more so into my relationship with God. That was like my root, because without God, I don't believe I probably would have made it out alive. But God kept his hand on me.
Wow. So when you was young and in school, did you pay attention, learn how to read and things like that in school?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you got to the pen,
I was already knowledgeable and knowing how to read, write, and stuff like that. Yeah. I used to draw, stuff like that, make cards for people.
Right.
You know, I found a way to hustle. In there, I was getting my money in there as well.
Right. So when did, so you get down and, when you was 30, you go in.
Mm-hmm.
When did God really start to, work with that mind? You was in there, 3 years, 4 years?
I guess I can say I tried to start making a transformation at the age of 30. It wasn't easy, as I said earlier before we start speaking. Because when I would see a lot of my homies in there and they would come through and the units or the module that I would be in, I love my homies. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to none of my homies. And I already had a reputation in the module, like, you mess with a homie from Great Baby Low, then I'm coming to the front center. There's nothing to talk about. We gonna get this out the way, or we gonna stop it. So that right there kept me in the mix of everything, because a lot of the homies would come through, and I'm not letting nobody do nothing to none of my homies. I don't care what hood you from, but I had a lot of respect from every hood. You feel me? So when God was really working on me, and I was 30 years old, when I was seeing my two sons, one was a little bit over a year, one was like a little bit, both of them was a little bit over a year, and I just looked. I said, I'm done with this. But I couldn't let go at that time. I'm only 30. So at the same time, it's just like me kept battling and struggling that fence. But when I actually really got tired and said, I'm done, I think I was 38. I said, I'm done. I don't care what nobody say. Do what they gonna do.
You've been in there 8 years. I'm finna give it to God.
I said, I'm done. You know, I said,
no more banging, no more.
A lot of dudes see me when I really was making that transformation earlier than 38. They said, Lil John, you got a glow about yourself, man. You ain't even the same. You humble, man. And like, but I remember, man, you used to be with the nonsense. Like on the blink of an eye, you was like ready to go and do this and that. They said, man, you ain't even the same Lil John. I said, nah, brother, God got me. I'm good.
Wow. And how much time did you do on that one? What year did you get out? How many years?
I've been home now. Like I said, today is my 6-year anniversary of being home. But I did 22 years, 5 months, and 13 days straight.
Is that right? 22 years. Sometimes people be wondering, man, how a brother do 22 years and get out? If somebody seen you today, they wouldn't think you've even been in the picture.
True, that is facts. I get that all the time. But when I tell my testimony, I let them know, man, it was nothing but the grace of God, the Lord Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit working in the right places to help me stay sane and to help me get my freedom back. And I didn't have an attorney. I had an inmate do my appeal on both appeals.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
No attorney.
I had no attorneys. I had an inmate do both of my appeals. And then the first appeal he did, which when I had the life without, by the grace of God, I had 7 judges rule in my favor. All 7 judges, it was a 7-judge panel. All of them ruled in my favor. So they end up appointing me attorney because they have to take attorney. A lot of attorneys at the end of the year, they have to take 1 case pro bono. So a high-powered attorney, which used to work for the district attorney, she took my case and got me back in court.
So this brother that did your appeal, is he still in?
Yes, he's still locked up.
Man, you should thank that brother.
I do. I'll be there for him when I can, because I don't forget how God used him in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it was a trip, because when he got me back in court, the whole yard wanted to start coming to him and bringing their appeals to him. Yeah, they did. They used to take all the cases.
You should always look out for him.
I have to the day I die.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you don't forget someone like that. You don't do that. When I'm financially able enough to do certain things, I'll bless them when I can.
Yes, sir.
I don't forget them.
That's right. Man, and what made you trust him enough to do that appeal?
You know, it was just God, because when I was incarcerated, I became the lead facilitator, which I should preach. God allowed me to share his word. And I met a lot of brothers through that facilitating, because I was sharing the word. God taught me through the Holy Spirit how to be well-versed in the word. So I became like, not the chaplain, but up under the chaplain, and give sermons in church and stuff that God allowed me to. So I met him inside the church, and I was like, brother, you know about the law? And for some way, he just came to me. He said, man, I know about the law a little bit, John. I'm not all that, but I believe I could be able to help you. So we became best of friends after that, and he just started helping me on my case. And I was always the type of person that just because you say you know the law, I'm going to take it to somebody I know to also know the law and let them check my paperwork. And that's what I would do. And the guy that I should took it to, this old brother named Mr. Cotton, he say, I have no complaints about what this brother did. He said, now the other brother that was working on your case, he said, man, I'd have thrown that in the trash as soon as I read it. He said it wasn't no good. So I said, all right, Mr. Cotton, I thank you. So when we sent it in and things start falling in my way and getting letters and stuff like back from the court, back and forth, finally one day, I'll never forget it. When they took the life without, it touches me when I talk about this, because
man, that's all
when
right.
the life without, when I was standing there, I was sweeping with the broom because I was a porter. And I went upstairs to go grab the trash can. And something told me to look over my right shoulder. And I did just like this here. Looked over my right shoulder. I said, God, I hope that's a letter for me. And I didn't know I wasn't getting no mail. And sure enough, they called me to the podium. I said, hey, what's going on? They said, you got some mail. I sat down. As soon as I opened it, I dropped to my knees and I said, thank you, Jesus. excuse me, it touches me on that
man,
part
I love it,
because
man. No.
when I fell down on my knees, there was a brother right there. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Brother, they granted my appeal." That was the first one. So I ended up going down to court. They dropped the life without off for me, dropped it to 25 to life with the possibility. So I had to go back to prison, went back in front of the same judge. That's when I told you earlier when he told me in my face, he said, "I don't know what it is about you." I said, "And what's that?" He said, "I filed 2 writs to keep you in prison." He said, "Every time I filed 2 writs, they would grant yours and deny mine." He said, "On both occasions." He said, "I'm the judge and I know the law." He said, "I wrote laws." He said, "So I don't know what it is." I said, "I know what it is." He said, "And what's that?" I said, "It's God." He said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, I do. It was God." He said, "Like I said, I don't know what I said." And like I said, it was God. Then the Holy Spirit came to me while I was sitting there. And it told me scripture comes alive. Isaiah 54:17 came to me right there as I was sitting when God said in his word, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and he shall condemn every tongue that rises against you." He never said it wouldn't form. He just said it wouldn't prosper. And he shall condemn every tongue. And so right there, for me to see what the judge said to me, that he tried to stop me from getting out of prison, he showed me that the words that the judge said was condemned. He did not let it rise against me. Yes, I was sentenced to life without the possibility, but God said it wasn't going to prosper. God set me down long enough for me to know, to get a clear understanding to him that he is God and whatever man says nothing. So right after he said that,
Wow.
the district attorney, she said, "Well, Your Honor," he said, "I don't want to do this, but I have to follow the law. I have to release you back to custody. You will be going home this time." Like that, because this was my second time seeing him. So the district attorney said, "Your Honor, can we give him 15 to life?" He said, "Ma'am, I'm going to tell you like this. I have to follow the law, but I'm going to release him, but I'm going to give you 1 week to file your appeal." He said, "But I'm going to tell you like this. I don't believe you're going to be successful." He said, "I'm a judge. I know the law." He said, "I wasn't successful, so I'm going to give you a week." That was the longest week of my life.
Wow.
And I went back to my cell in the county jail. I prayed. And it took about 2 weeks because they still had to do the documentation, everything like that. By God's grace, one day I was just laying on my bed just thinking like, man, when I'm going to get out of here? The deputy came to my cell. She said, "Mr. Lambert?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "You ready to go?" I said, "Go where?" She said, "You're going home."